Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into the world of the Göktürks.
That's right, the first big Turkic empire stretching across continents, and specifically their beliefs, their mythology.
Yeah, and we're drawing on this really interesting new book by Emre Yavuz.
It's quite something. It pulls together history, archaeology, genetics, even climate stuff, really comprehensive.
And it includes the Orkhon inscriptions, right? Translated into German for the first time, which is huge.
Exactly. Key primary sources. So you get a direct glimpse into how they saw the world.
So our mission really is to unpack their spiritual side. Tengrism, their law, Torah, how this massive empire, like 7 million square kilometers, how it all connected spiritually.
And it's more complex than just simple shamanism, which is often the first thought. There's a lot more going on.
Okay, let's start there then. Tengrism and the main figure, Göktengri. How did that work? Was it a shift from older beliefs?
It seems so. There was definitely a shamanistic background with the Kam, sort of a high priest figure. But under the Göktürks, especially the ruling Ashina clan, the rulers themselves claimed divine backing directly from Göktengri.
So the Kam's political power was maybe less central?
Yeah, exactly. The Kangans got their legitimacy straight from the top, from the sky god. It mirrored their political power structure, centralized.
So Göktengri, who or what was he exactly?
The supreme god, male deity, ruler of the whole cosmos, guiding destiny, lived up in the endless blue sky.
The sky god. Makes sense.
And he wasn't just about power, he also embodied the life-giving aspect of nature. Sovereignty and life force combined.
There's that quote from the Orkhon inscriptions, isn't there? About creation.
Right. When the blue heaven above and the brown earth below were created, mankind was created in between. Gives you a sense of their cosmology.
So heaven, earth, humans in the middle. What about after death? What did they believe happened then?
Well, they had this concept called Usmag. That was their version of paradise.
Okay.
A place of light, greenery, abundance. Souls were often seen as birds. Yeah, flying up, ascending towards this cosmic tree of life, reuniting with ancestors. And interestingly, that word Usmag is older than the Arabic term Senet for paradise.
Huh. And was there a flip side? Like a hell?
There was Tamag, an underworld ruled by a figure named Erlik, but it wasn't quite like the Abrahamic hell, More a place where impure souls went to be cleansed, not internal punishment.
So cleansing, not damnation. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, besides Göktengri, who else was important? The book mentions Ume.
Oh, Ume is fascinating. The Great Mother. She was the protector of mothers and unborn children. Crucial.
Protector. So about fertility in life.
Exactly. And also maintaining balance between people and nature. She was even linked to the planet Venus, really central to birth and ongoing life.
And then there are Yersu, earth water spirits.
Right. These were spirits, maybe ancestral spirits chosen by Tengri, who returned to Earth from Usmag.
Returned. To do what?
To watch over their families, their people, and the land itself. They were thought to inhabit natural places, rivers, lakes, mountains.
Like Tengri Khan, the Tian Shan Mountains. Those were sacred.
Very sacred, yes. Believed to be cared for by the Yersu.
There's also this concept of Kut. What's that about?
Kut is, it's like a life force, an energy that flows through everything, connecting all living beings.
Like the Force? Kinda?
Sort of, yeah. But specifically, Tengri could grant Kut or withdraw it. So successful rulers were seen as having strong Kut. They were Kutlu.
Meaning blessed by Tengri. A sign of legitimacy?
Precisely. Divine favor, good fortune, the right to rule. It all tied back to Kut.
This all seems connected by the Ulukayan, the world tree. How did that fit in?
The Ulukayan was central, literally. Like in many mythologies, it connected the different realms, heaven, earth, the underworld.
So linking Göktengri, humans, and Tamag.
Yes, often depicted with 7 or 9 levels, home to different deities. Usmag was in the upper levels. It symbolized the structure and balance of the cosmos.
And their connection to nature seems really, really deep. The Oghuz Khan legend illustrates that, doesn't it?
Beautifully, yes. It brings together Tengri, Kut, the sacred wolf, and this idea that humans came from a tree blessed by heavenly light. We're children of nature, essentially.
Wow. And even in later stories like Basat from the Book of Dede Korkut.
That connection persists. Basat's mother is a rough tree, his father a lion ruler. It reinforces that divine natural origin. These ideas were incredibly enduring.
And the mountains being sacred spaces, Kams making pilgrimages.
Definitely. Peaks like Tengri Khan were places to connect with the divine, protected by those Yersu, the ancestral souls. Land wasn't something to own, it was sacred, alive.
The book briefly touches on others too, like Karahan, Maybe a creator god.
Possibly, yeah. An older figure existing before heaven and earth who planted the world tree. Maybe a precursor to Göktürk's prominence.
And Ulgin, his son, bringing fire.
Ulgin was more active, brought fire, patron of crafts. Resided on a golden mountain, shows a developing pantheon.
Okay, and just quickly, what about things like Akalisa or Arsura, nature spirits?
Alkarisi were female spirits, sometimes tricky, sometimes protective, especially around childbirth. Arsura were shape-shifting nature spirits. Not evil, but best not to disturb them. Shows a respect for the wildness of nature.
It really paints a picture of a complex world. You've got the supreme sky god, Tengri, afterlife concepts like Usmag and Tamag, this whole range of deity spirits.
And that deep, deep reverence for nature embodied by the world tree, sacred mountains, the Yersu.
Plus Kut, that life force connecting everything. Well, it's quite sophisticated.
It really is a cyclical view of life, interconnectedness. Not simple at all.
You know, it makes you wonder, how much of that worldview, that sense of balance with nature, that interconnectedness, how much might resonate even today?
That's a great point. And the fact that so many of these figures and ideas survived in Turkic folklore long after Islam arrived, it suggests something really fundamental, deeply ingrained.
A powerful spiritual heritage still echoing. Fascinating stuff.
Definitely worth exploring further.
Absolutely. Thanks for diving deep with us on this one.